All right, so maybe like 10, 11 years ago now that I started my YouTube channel. Um, and originally when I started it, I was like kind of just looking to share my projects. I was like into leatherworking at the time. I was interested in woodworking. I didn't really have a lot of tools. I was living in an apartment. And so I think one of my first videos was like making like a ring out of like a silver quarter. Actually, I know that was one of my first videos, but basically that was like why I got started. I was kind of inspired by Matthias Wendell and John Heiss and Jimmy DiResta. Those were like the channels that I spent a lot of time watching, and I was really fascinated with how they could just seemingly like those guys could make anything. Some of the the different specialties, obviously. And I thought that was cool, and it was interesting. I like the tools, I like the materials, I like the art of it. But I quickly found that that's like really hard, and I didn't have like a lot of time. So I kind of started just using it as like a platform to share some of my interests and hobbies. I really like tools, for instance. So I had like some Leathermans and some other tools like that, and I was like buying different ones, and I was kind of comparing them amongst myself. And I thought, oh well, maybe I can share like my thoughts on some of these. So I started making like tool reviews, like here or there. And I still did work on projects, but I prefer to kind of do that off camera, just like build something kind of for myself. But you find that like when you have these types of hobbies, you don't always have someone that like shares your interests, you know? And so it can be kind of hard to be like, hey, look at this thing that I made, or look at this cool like tool that I bought. And like, a lot of people like in your personal life just don't really care. So I kind of used YouTube as like a platform to like share that, maybe find some like-minded people, maybe we can start a conversation in the comments, that type of thing. And of course, like my channel is really small. I don't have like very many subscribers. One of my most popular videos, the reason that I'm monetized, is a video that I did, I think 9 years ago as a joke called How to Fold a Burrito. And it was a 1-minute video where I was basically just showing my wife how to like wrap like a tortilla, just like make, for like home cooked burritos. And it was so well received. I think it's up to like 5.7 or like 5 million views or something like that at this point. And I just get like positive comments every day about that video. And it's like, I don't respond to them all, but I do read them all. I log into YouTube like first thing in the morning, and I just check my comments, and it's always people saying nice things. Sometimes they're mean, and then it's kind of funny when they're mean. That's just like a thing to itself. But basically, YouTube, I've found, especially in the space like where I'm interested in like tools and making things, stuff like that, a lot of it has just become advertising at this point. And so that's kind of what this video is about. Is I've received some few tools. Like I got a lawnmower and this fan and this torque wrench and a set of wrenches here. And I don't really need free tools. I guess it's kind of nice, but I have like so many tools already. I don't really like need stuff. But basically this is what YouTube has become, is it's become this like platform for advertising. So you have these content creators that are creating ads, and they're either like advertising their own businesses or merchandise or side businesses. And then you have like these companies that are making tools, and they are sending them to you, and they want you to provide Amazon affiliate links. And so that's just kind of like where it's going. And I don't really know how I feel about that. There definitely still is creativity out there, but I just feel like even creative videos these days, so many of them are just sponsored content. And maybe that's the only way that you get content, is if someone's putting money into it. That's just kind of my thoughts on that. I don't like really want to be negative about it, but usually I'll receive emails from just companies, and they say, hey, like we'll send you this, and maybe you can make a video about it, and we'll give you like an affiliate link, and you get some additional commission. Like that's a higher rate than you would normally get like through Amazon or something like that. And I mostly just ignore them. But as you know what, I had been received a few of them, and I wasn't particularly interested in any of these products necessarily, but I just decided to say yes to like 5 or 6 of them to see what would happen. And I did get stuff in the mail, which is interesting. The lawnmower is the most surprising of all of it. Now this lawnmower I'll get into is kind of problematic. I guess I'll just do the ad because I said I would. Anyway, this is a set of ratcheting wrenches that was sent to me by Prosumer. I think that's what they call this. Yeah, Prosumer. Pro-Stormer. Oh, Pro-Stormer. Okay. But this is just a standard set. It's not an extended set, so you don't like have any really big sizes. It stops at 3/4 or 19, which is pretty normal as far as like just your standard kind of like box store wrench set. I thought it was interesting that on the metric sizes, they gave you a fixed ratcheting end, whereas on the standard side, you get a flex head. And the flex head is like definitely better in every way than the fixed end. So I'm not sure why they did that. I thought it was a mistake at first, but then when I checked the listing on Amazon, that is how they have it. So that's a little weird. In the standard side, they gave you a full set. So there's no skips here in terms of the fractional standard size nuts. And then on the metric side, there's actually a couple of skips. They skipped the 9 and the 11. And they also skipped the 19, but it's not technically skipped because 3/4 and 19 are the same thing. If you want to find the equivalents, then 11/32 is pretty close to 9 millimeters, and 7/16 is close to 11 millimeters. So you technically don't really have any size issues with this wrench set. You're kind of complete. And then in terms of metric, I don't really know if those sizes are used. I know that I've run into there's a 7 missing too. I don't know what 7's equivalent to. But I know that like on my 3D printer, for instance, the nozzle is a 7 millimeter. So this wrench set is okay. The thing that I don't like is it doesn't have the, as far as this case goes, I like when they have the flap that covers the wrenches so you don't lose any. Because the thing about this is if you're just throwing it like flat on the floor, it's okay. You won't really lose any wrenches. But you can kind of shake them out. But, like I said, if you kind of give it a shake, they can technically come out without the flap being in there. So, not a huge deal. Just keep it cinched. So, that's fine. And then I had this company send me a digital torque wrench, which is actually really nice. This 3/8 torque wrench. It's got a nice ratcheting mechanism. The head is, fine, I guess, the size of it. I didn't take it apart or anything. And then they give you some branded batteries with it. So in the battery compartment, one of the things that they did was rather than just thread the plastic here, they actually gave you some brass inserts. So they expect you to be kind of in and out of this battery compartment at least more than once or twice, which is nice. I mean, that's an upgrade for sure. We'll put the batteries in. I don't like to leave alkaline batteries in tools because they tend to leak over time. And especially with a torque wrench and, me, it's not the type of thing I would use every day. On here, set to 23 foot-pounds right now. I think you can do metric, yes. So kilograms, centimeters, Newton meters, inch pounds, and foot-pounds. That's kind of nice. And then there's a backlight here. This is great. I have no complaints about this. Here, let's try it out on our in-service lawnmower right now. Let's see. There you go. Torqued it to 15 foot-pounds. I don't know what that wheel should actually be torqued to, but that felt fine. That's about how tight I would have done it anyway. This is actually a really nice little torque wrench. I think if you just hold C, it turns off. You may not need to actually turn it off. Maybe it turns itself off. I don't know. You got a little bit of papers there. Comes with a screwdriver to change your batteries. But yeah, not a bad buy, actually, as far as what was sent to me here. I would buy this. This is a nice torque wrench. I really do. It's actually fine. Another thing I got here was this camping fan. This is okay. So this doubles as a camping fan and a battery bank. I think I just turned it on. So that's on right now. Try to stay out of the path of the wind. Comes with a little remote, so you can increase the speed or whatever. And then you get a readout here at the bottom in terms of what you're doing. So, and then it's got a light, so that may come in handy if you're camping around the garage here. I don't know. And then you could oscillate it, and then there's different settings for how much oscillation you want. Maybe you just got 30 degrees might just be you and someone else. If you got a third person, maybe you'll put it at the 60 degrees right there, 90, 120, you kind of get the idea. And then, so you can stop it like that, so anyway, it's not a bad fan. It's got a little grab handle on top, and I think when you turn it off, it centers after you oscillate it, which is cool. It's going to figure it out. All right, well, maybe not. I don't know, whatever. Anyway. And then there's like a hook here. So they say in their marketing materials you can hang it from like a tent or something. I don't know. It's not a bad fan. I've been using this too, kind of around the shop because it's been kind of hot, and especially here in my garage. 89 right now with 64% humidity, which is 31 Celsius, 32. I don't know. It's hot in here, so yeah, I've actually been kind of using this. It's fine. The last thing I got was this lawnmower. So this is the only thing where I don't think I can really review it. I mean, it's okay. If you look up online, there's kind of mixed reviews from people that have actually bought this thing. I mean, for me, if I had bought it myself and it wasn't broken out of the box, it was a pretty good experience. It came with the oil you needed. You just kind of put that in. The instructions are really clear. There was no real assembly required. This arm here just kind of unfolded, and then you kind of clipped it together. It's got these like little clamp things, so you can quickly fold this arm up if you want to. It's got the bag. You know, there's really nothing to complain about. But the there's the deck height adjustment for cutting is right here. And so you have like a lever that comes out and it locks into these slots. Basically, it was kind of broken, like right out of the box. And I wasn't sure if it was broken. I thought like maybe I had to attach it. The way that it's put together is it was just a rod that they had squished and put a hole in, and then it was riveted onto a little plate that gets bolted right here. I did contact the company. Well, I didn't actually contact the company. The thing is, I contacted the marketing representative that sent me the lawnmower. And I sent them a picture of it, and I said, hey, this thing was broken out of the box. I'm still going to make the video here, but, you know, can you guys send me just this replacement part? And I was mainly just curious to see, like, what they would say. And they didn't respond. So that may just be that they didn't know how to respond or what to do, and maybe they thought, like, you know, they should just let it go and, like, give up on me. Or maybe they thought I wanted them to send another lawnmower, which I definitely didn't want a second lawnmower. I just kind of wanted the part, but you know, it's not a big deal. I'm gonna weld it back together. I'm just kind of in between welders right now. Once I do fix it, I'll probably just give this lawnmower away. I don't actually need it, which is fine. So yeah, anyway, I guess that's the ad. Go ahead and buy some stuff, you idiot. Buy it. Buy. Make sure you buy. On Amazon. Buy it. Oof, it's warm out here. Oh, man.